Hello, my name is Tamara Rucker of Rockwood Recovery LLC. I'm an air finder, I'm an asset locator, asset recovery specialist, as well as a claims specialist. All of them mean the same thing, but for today, I'm just going to go ahead and use air finder because they all mean the same thing. It's a nice day outside, so I'm just deciding to sit outside because it feels so good out here, and it's kind of chilly in my house. I've got it a nice 68 degrees, however it feels like 50. All right, let's get started. So what does an air finder do? And we identify unclaimed property, and we help reunite that property with the rightful owners. And if you see me looking down, it's because I want to make sure that I hit all the right points, okay? What kind of a property do we reunite the owners with? And it's intangible property. Money is considered an intangible item. Where does this money come from? Well, it depends on the circumstances for which the property was abandoned. So there's several different ones, like tax sale excess proceeds, abandoned bank accounts, stocks, bonds, unpaid life insurance policies, and so on and so forth. But today, we are going to talk about tax sale excess proceeds and unclaimed funds held by the state. Excess proceeds are the difference between what a house sold for at your local auction and the back taxes that led to the tax sale foreclosure. Unclaimed funds, on the other hand, are basically the rest, that are everything else, any other form of intangible unclaimed property that's being held by the Unclaimed Property Division of your state. In this case, we're talking about Missouri. Okay? Claiming both of those involve certain levels of complication um, that are normally beyond the average citizen's knowledge base. Neither are talked about enough. 1 in 5 people have unclaimed property, either sitting in. One second. That was my little one. 1 in 5 people have unclaimed property sitting in unclaimed property at the Unclaimed Property Division, and or there are many, like there's thousands, and within a couple of years, tens of thousands of homeowners, or ex-homeowners in this case, who have unclaimed excess proceeds sitting in their county collections in escrow. The huge difference between the two is that tax sale excess proceeds, you lose the right to claim that after 3 years from the date of the sale, and with unclaimed property, you have until perpetuity to claim that. So a lot of these owners have passed away. Um, these are, these are unclaimed life insurance policies, unclaimed bank accounts that have been sitting there for 20 years or more. Um, and or it could be a paycheck that somebody didn't collect from a couple years ago. It just kind of depends. But with funds that are being held by your state treasury, you have into perpetuity. Tax sale excess proceeds, you only get 3 years, which doesn't seem fair because excess proceeds from a tax sale are by far the biggest accounts that you could have in unclaimed funds. They're created from the sale of a home, um, and by far the largest of the two. And so, and they're more difficult to claim because not only are most people unaware of their excess proceeds, but the odds are stacked against them because there's almost no publicly available information that the county gives to these homeowners that they're entitled to these funds. So, and then when they do step forward to claim it, it becomes a giant cluster of confusion because there are county collectors out there who do not follow the state statute or the laws that govern tax sale excess proceeds. Um, because it's created by the local government selling the house, um, for the back taxes, no matter how valuable the house may be, or no matter how small the tax bill, apparently your local government doesn't think you should have into perpetuity to claim that money, even though it was your house that was sold or your family member's house that was sold. The treasury actually makes it quite easy to claim your unclaimed funds unless the original owner has passed away or the amount is over $5,000. After that, the process gets a bit more complicated. And that's why for both of these, it's really important to have a state licensed, state registered, legitimate representative or recovery firm or air finder, in this case, to help you with the claims process. It's also important to use a company or a air finder that's local, uh, because those of us who are registered, those of us who are licensed, we adhere to a certain standard when it comes to compensation. Um, so, and I'll make a video discussing that compensation at a later date. But there are laws on how much that we can charge a claimant that protects the claimant as well as the air finder. So, in that case, Rockwood Recovery is based in Missouri. We're local, licensed, fully registered through the Missouri Treasury. We're well versed in unclaimed property laws, and as far as I know, we are the only company that is actively working to change the unclaimed property laws, not only to benefit the Missouri residents, but to benefit the overall general public, and consumers that want to make claims. And we also want to protect Missouri residents from out-of-state predatory companies that are not familiar with the laws or decide not to follow the laws or are running scams to get your personal information. I'm pretty sure plenty of people that are going to watch this video have received a letter saying that they've got unclaimed property sitting in the state treasury, and it's from some company out in Las Vegas or Kansas or whatever. And that company, if you finally talk to them, says they want 20% of your entire claim amount, or 40% of your entire claim amount. My bad. 40%, which cannot be justified. 20% is the limit within the state of Missouri. For excess proceeds, 25 anything above 25% cannot be justified because that is a more complicated process that requires attorneys and so on and so forth. So, especially if you're working on a contingency model like Rockwood Recovery works on, we don't have the client doesn't pay anything throughout the claim process. We are actually fronting the cost of everything throughout the process, including attorney's fees. So the 25% is justified because we are actually fronting the cost of everything, because we don't want the client to have to pay a dime throughout the process. We don't get paid unless the claim is successful and the claim is paid out. And also it works like that that's how we do it with Missouri unclaimed funds as well. However, the Treasury is not going to pay us unless the claim is successful. That is where we get you get a separate check. The client gets their separate check for 90 or 80%. And then the asset recovery company and or air finder receives their individual 10 or 20% check. Um, However, the law that we're working to change with tax sale excess proceeds, that will be the most consequential in helping homeowners and residents. It will have the most positive impact because we believe that homeowners should have into perpetuity to claim the funds that were generated from the sale of their home, uh, into perpetuity. There should be no 3-year time frame, and it's really not 3 years because the redemption period is actually part of that 3 years, and during that redemption period you can't claim anything. And it really can take a year and a half for that investor who bought it at auction to be able to even get the property. So there goes a year and a half shaved off of your 3 years. And so really the person only has a year and a half for somebody to reach out to them. And it won't be the county, it'll be an air finder who tries to reach out to them and help them claim that money before it's too late. When it shouldn't be a rush like that. If your home was sold, you should be able to reap the proceeds from that without having any complications. So for more information, please visit www.ruckwoodrecovery.com or email us at ruckwoodrecovery@gmail.com or give us a call or text at 314-692-4272. Calls are screened to avoid spammers and robocalls. Consultations regarding your unclaimed funds are free, and our agreements go through the state treasury before being enforceable. So we make sure that every bit of paperwork we use is approved by the Missouri State Treasury. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.